All right, so first of all, we want to go ahead and open a flap here, okay, on the cheek so that we can see a few of the structures. This structure that is right here is going to be the masseter muscle. The masseter muscle, if you remember, it's the muscle that's right here on the angle of the jaw. So this is the angle of the pig's jaw, okay? This is the muscle. Right above the muscle, slightly above it, is going to be the, this is the facial nerve, okay? So the facial nerve for the muscles of facial expression. Okay, if you open and kind of move everything around a little bit here, you're going to see this is a very nice blood vessel, by the way. This is the facial vein, I believe. That's just my guess. You don't need to know it, but just pointing it out since it's already there. This here, this structure right here, you see it's kind of chunky. It's kind of dispersed. Okay, see that? Kind of chunky structure. That's your parotid gland. Your parotid gland is going to cover basically all of this. It's kind of diffuse, like I mentioned. In humans, it's located right here on your cheek. Okay, like sitting on top of the masseter muscle. Okay, before our ears, but you know ours is like all squished together, more so than theirs. Theirs is like the jaw is here and the ear is over here. So the parotid gland is going to be found in this area right here. Okay, so this darker chunky stuff here, that's all parotid gland. Okay, remember glands look like chunky stuff, and you can see this is actually the duct of the parotid gland, which I kind of ripped here, but it does open. See, it goes all the way over here. Okay, I kind of ripped it there. I apologize. But it goes all the way there into the jaw. So if you've ever had a gush of fluid in your mouth and notice that it comes from right above, like your second molar, or your second premolar or your first molar, that is the parotid gland, the secretions, which are salivary amylase, which is very, very thin. It's serous secretions, okay? So that's your parotid gland. This is your submandibular gland. Submandibular gland looks like a bean. You see that? Looks like a bean, okay? And the sublingual gland is this one right here, sublingual gland. Okay, so this is sublingual gland, submandibular gland, and then the parotid gland, okay, which is this one right here. Okay, and then the facial nerve. Okay. Now, I don't want to open this pig.
Oh, Lord.
Okay. But I will because I don't have the other one's not here. Okay. You're gonna get to right here is the epiglottis. Okay, that's the epiglottis right there.
PETA would be really mad at us. Oh. PETA.
And then this is the nasopharynx, opening to the nasopharynx. So that's just review because we already did. That's part of the respiratory structures, nasopharynx. And then you have the opening. You see the opening right there. Okay, the opening right there. That's your esophagus, the beginning of your esophagus, the end of your pharynx. Okay, so it's the epiglottis, the nasopharynx, and then the that's the laryngopharynx, and then eventually into the esophagus. Okay, so then in here, this is your, if you want to remember, the trachea. Okay, so it's a review, and then here that's larynx. That's a review, but behind the trachea and the larynx is going to be your esophagus. Okay, so this is your esophagus right here. Okay, so notice it's kind of the same color, but it's soft. It doesn't have the cartilage rings that the trachea has. Okay, then in here, your esophagus goes all the way down through, and then it goes to the stomach. So this is the stomach right here. Okay, this is the liver. This whole thing is the liver. This right here is the gallbladder. Okay, so notice how that one is soft in comparison to the rest of the liver, which is pretty firm and it's hard. Okay, so what you're looking for is the soft floppy structure, and usually it'll be lifted up like that so you could see it even better. Okay, so again, the stomach. Okay, attached to the stomach is the spleen. This is the spleen, which is not a digestive system structure. This is lymphatic, but I'm just pointing it out since we are already here. Okay, make sure you don't get that confused. Okay, making sure you don't get that confused with the pancreas, which is this structure right here. Okay, you see that little chunky structure right here, and it goes like this and like that. All of this is your pancreas. Okay, do you see it? Okay, that structure.
It's just superior to the intestines?
Yep. And it's going to be posterior as well because it's actually outside of the peritoneal cavity. So it's posterior. It's outside. It's retroperitoneal, which means behind the peritoneum. Okay? So you have to break. There's a little membrane that you have to break in order to get to it. Okay? So it's chunky structure right there. Okay? So remember, glands are left that chunky type of appearance. Okay? Now, this is your stomach, going back really quick. This is your duodenum. I'm sorry, this is your pyloric sphincter right here, and if you want to touch it, it's really hard and round. This is your duodenum. I apologize. So right here, this first part, this is your small intestine. This first part here is your duodenum. Right? The rest of this is the rest of your small intestine. We're not really going to sit here and try to figure out where it transitions from the duodenum to the jejunum. That's just not going to happen. In other words, jejunum is not going to be pointed out here. Okay?
Not gonna be.
It's going to be in the test, just not here. Okay? So notice that you're going to have, especially when it comes to seeing it underneath a microscope, because it's going to look different from the duodenum and different from the ileum. But we'll go over that next time. Next time, we'll go over that. Okay? So you can see here, these are the stripes. You see these stripes? Those are the blood vessels that are found in the mesentery. So this is all mesentery. Okay? So you can see mesentery. Okay? And that's your small intestine. That's basically keeps your small intestines organized. These mesentery. Okay, so keep looking through there until we get to the end of your small intestine and the beginning of your large intestine, which is right here. Okay, so this is the end of your small intestine. This is the ileum. Okay, how we know it's because we're getting to the end. That's how we know. Okay, this is the ileum. Okay, this is the cecum, where it receives from the ileum, and then the little thing that hangs down off the cecum is the appendix. So that's the appendix. Okay, do you see that? That's the appendix. This is the cecum. This is the ileum. So the ileocecal valve will be right in there. The ileocecal valve on the pig will not be on your practical, but it will be on your actual model. Okay, the model, you want to make sure you look at the pyloric valve. I'm sorry, the ileocecal valve. Ileocecal valve. Okay, and so this is your cecum. This is your spiral colon. Okay, so notice a little bit different than ours. That's your spiral colon. Then your colon ends right here, where this is the rectum. Okay, it's the rectum, and then here is your anus. Okay. And the anus is going to be the end of your digestive system, obviously. And then really quick, I'm going to review the urinary system because I know we didn't do it last time, but there's only 3 things you need to know. Kidney, in this case would be your right kidney. That's your left kidney in here, behind that membrane. Okay. This is your ureter. Okay. That is your right ureter. And then this is your urinary bladder. Okay, so it's just those 3 things. Kidney, ureter, urinary bladder. Ow, I just broke myself. That was fine. I'll live.
Is it? We need to know that.
Yes.
That's it?
Yes.
Are you bleeding?
Probably.